Hey everyone, hello and welcome, Tony Bing here. For this video I will have a look at the changes that have been made to Luke Cage. Now with these, both the melee and summon side of things really are quite different, but what I'll do, it's not a new hero, it's not a complete overhaul, so for this video I will look at the individual skills that have changed as opposed to looking at the two separate trees like I normally do in this style of video. So it shouldn't be as long as the other ones, but it'll be more to the point because I'll only be covering the changes that have been made, and that's what you all want to see really at the end of the day. So we'll look at the skills first. Once we've done that, we'll have a look at the talents as well, but here we go for the skills. So what I've done here is I've put the skills that have changed onto the actual hotbar. There's really no point bringing up the power trees and running through both of them when there's only been a selection of changes. So let's run through these. We have Cage Fighting. That's now a basic melee opener. We'll show that off. Nice animation on that. I like the punches and kicks. And following on from that, you have KO. This is good fun. Wait till you see this. Here we go. There we go, knocking the dummy right up in the air. I don't know of any other hero that I've actually seen do that. I do wonder the fact he can hit the raid dummy up in there, whether that's intended or not, if he could do it to Surtur as well. Because I remember there was a certain hero, I can't think right now who it was, but I know when I used to go into raids, there was a hero that could knock Surtur way up, and it was pretty funny when you would see him do that. If you do know, let me know in the comments below who it was that was able to do that. But the next skill we've got is elbow drops. This is great and something that's much needed on a lot of melee heroes. So say you're attacking away and then you need to dash, a skill like this allows you to get straight back into the fray again and in the enemy's face. That's good and will make Luke more mobile than he was before. The next skill, it's Crowbar Beatdown, so basic melee opener. It now has a 10% critical hit chance added to it. There we go there. And then we have Dempsey Roll. Now what's been done with this is the cooldown's been increased on it, but it hits for a lot more than it did previously. So we'll fire it off and show this. There we go. And we can see once you've used the combo points, it's 7 hits. My Luke Cage isn't geared at all because I've not had the time to look at him since the biggest update ever, but yet each of those hits was doing 90,000. So imagine that could hit for a whopping amount, and I'm quite intrigued to see what numbers you could get on that. Another skill that's been changed similar to the last is Vehicular Manslaughter, and that the cooldown's been increased, but it now does a lot more damage, because the idea is you shouldn't be able to pull a car out of nowhere every 4 or 8 seconds. It happens less frequently, but it's a lot more powerful when it does happen. So here we go. There we go there. And final skill we look at before the talents is Sweet Christmas. The change on this is that the buff effect is now a percentage rather than a flat amount. So you can see that there, the increased base damage, critical hit chance, brutal strike chance, and also damage reduction on it as well. We may as well fire it off because it's nice enough looking. There we go. Whole lot of rubble flying up there, so that's pretty good. But let's now have a look at the talents, where things really are quite different. And here we go, we'll now have a look at the talents and traits side of things. So we'll just run through all the talents because there has been quite a few changes. Some of them are not huge, but I think it's been enough for me to cover all of them for anyone that doesn't have access to Test Centre. The first one we look at, this is Heavy Hitter. So combo points are removed, Dempsey Roll can be activated at any time, and finisher power damage goes up by 100%, and also Harlem Street Kick and KO gain 6-second cooldowns there. And then you have Relentless, so Elbow Drop and Vehicular Manslaughter generate twice as many combo points, and the maximum combo points is 8. Now if I actually go for that, because I'm curious how hard Dempsey Roll could hit with my awful gear. So there we go, got the full 8 combo points. Yeah, that was hitting for a whopping amount, and as I say, my gear's not great at all. That could be really interesting. I'm intrigued to try that out. But next talent we have is Follow Through. So finishers provide an additional effect for 8 seconds when used at maximum combo points. You can get a critical hit chance, base damage, or attack speed there. Talent line number 2. This is something I possibly should have covered in the skills section, but you have Iron Fist down here. You'll notice he's the only summon icon, but the way it now works is if you select this talent, it would transform Iron Fist into Misty Knight. Now you need to have the particular skill on your bar, however saying that, you have an 8-second cooldown on the skill down the bottom. Now you'll notice it says, for Iron Fist, if activated while Iron Fist is summoned, 25% of max health. So that's nice, a little heal on demand there. For Misty, we have the Cryo Beam that she fires off with a 2-second freeze on it. But next talent, is Business is Good. So when you defeat a boss, gain Job Well Done, and you'll get Credit Find, Base Damage, Cooldown, and Movement Speed. And when I see that, it just reminds me of the picture of Luke Cage beating up Doctor Doom and saying, "Where's my money, honey?" I do love that, makes me laugh every time. But next talent, we have Makeshift Weapon. So Crowbar Beatdown transforms into Chain Lash. There we go, we can see that there. And with this, Chain Yank now generates twice as many combo points, damage goes up, 6-second cooldown. So there we go, so that will generate up to 4 combo points. So it looks like that may still be mandatory for builds, because I felt previously that you really had to use that because it was just so powerful, generating the full amount of combo points as long as you hadn't taken the talent where you could have up to 8 combo points. Next up anyway, talent wise, we have Jessica Jones. So not surprisingly, Iron Fist transforms into Jessica Jones. If we hover over the tooltip, you can see if activated while Jessica Jones is summoned, vehicular assault, physical damage she's doing there, and it's got a dot as well. They could do with maybe updating that little tooltip for her. In fact, looking at all of Luke Cage's compared to Nick Fury's, I think they could do with updating all these tooltips a little bit blander compared to the new ones. But next talent, we have the Defender. So apply guarded to allies while you're in combat. That's defense rating multiplier, deflect rating multiplier, summoned ally health, and also base damage as well there. And you can see there's the base health and health regen. So that's interesting if you want to go it alone and you'd be nice and tanky. But the final talent in this line is Lethal Fists. So elbow drop, critical hit chance 100%, Cage was here damage a whopping 400%, cooldown goes up to 12 seconds. Yeah, that could hit a whole lot over a large area, but do you want your vulnerability on a actual skill as long as that? Not quite sure. You could always pull on a team up, I suppose, that has vulnerability, like Sam Wilson in place, of course. But talent line 4, we've got another summon here. It's Colleen Wing. So the Iron Fist transforms into Colleen Wing, and when you activate her while she's already summoned, it's Shadow Dance, physical damage that she'll actually do. The animation for it is similar to Cutting Room Floor that Deadpool does. You know the one by now where they whiz about the screen that various heroes have. But next talent, Street Justice. So Chunk of Concrete and Vehicular Manslaughter both become finisher powers there. And then we have Knockout Punch. So Dempsey Roll is no longer a finisher, does not require consumer benefit from combo points, generates 1 combo point per hit, and causes your next finisher to deal 200% more damage. So that's quite the tooltip there. And hand to hand, power damage up 10%, and cage fighting, critical damage goes up by 30% there. But for the final talent line, we have Hero's Call. So the Iron Fist transforms into Hero's Call, and this is the old, well, it used to be the old signature, and then it was changed to just a skill as well. So with this, 20-second duration, 1 minute cooldown, and you'll call in the rest of the defenders to help you out there. But next up, we have Take to the Streets. So when you use Cold Shoulder and Elbow Drop, increase your movement speed by 15% for 8 seconds. Cold Shoulder max charges goes up, and Elbow Drop max charges go up as well. So Elbow Drop was, let's see, where was that? I can't actually see it now. There we go. It's because it's got the same icon as that at the moment. So this will be 2 charges on it, will really help you being mobile, because this is your gap closer if you're away from an enemy and you need to get back into the action. So that could be quite interesting, that particular one. But final talent we look at, Sweet Christmas, and with this, Sweet Christmas applies quicken to all allies. Whenever I say Sweet Christmas, I feel like I need to shout it out, but I don't want to, but I kind of feel that way every time. But with this, it reduces the remaining cooldown time of your powers by 12 seconds. So that could be interesting for some of these really hard hitting skills that now have the 12-second cooldown. Fire them all off, hit Sweet Christmas, fire them off again. That could be a huge amount of burst damage you could do there, think I may actually check that out after this video. But you also have the buff effective attack and move speed as well there, so it's pretty interesting. I know a lot of people seem to be quite hung up in the fact that it's not as easy to get all the different actual summons out at the same time now, but you still have them to an extent with the hero's call, as we can see here, and I need to test to see if power duration potentially affects that. I don't think it will, because it is tagged summon duration, but I'll certainly test it out and I'll report back in the comments below. But I hope this video was insightful for anyone that doesn't have access to Test Centre, and next up I'll have a look at Kitty and see what her changes are like. But thanks for tuning in for another one of these videos, and I'll see you all again soon.